sports outlet called Chasin Checkers. My name is BJ Gregory. I'm 33 years old from Lyons, Ohio, and I drive the 56 late model. Started racing when I was 16 years old. First car I ever bought was from a good friend of ours. It was basically a stock Monte Carlo, and we ran that what we call the bomber division around here. Did that on and off until I was 18, just because I didn't have the funds to really put a full season together. So it was basically race, wreck, build up some bank account, put it back together, race, wreck, and then the story repeated itself until I was 18 finally, and was able to graduate high school and work a full-time job and have a little bit more money. And then I bought my second car from my dad. It was his bomber, and he was moving up a division, so that was a good opportunity for me to do that. And ran around in the bomber division for another 2 seasons full-time, and then was able to move up to a sportsman. Did that for 2 seasons, and then was able to move up to a dirt late model. Did that for another 2 seasons, and then kind of sold everything off at 26 and decided I was going to buy a Harley and buy a house and do the adult thing in life, and then quickly got teamed up with Chris Keller and ended up running the road and crew chiefing for him for a couple of years. Kind of backed off of that life a little bit, and then Brandon started racing, and Brandon and Dad were racing, so I kind of went to a crew chief helper position for them guys for a couple of years, and then finally decided I want to start my own stuff again, put another sportsman together, and then did that for a season and a half, and ended up putting a late model back together because that was ultimately where I wanted to be. In between there, I did run a dirt modified for about 10 races, which was a really cool opportunity. Drove for a really nice guy, and we had a lot of fun doing that. I was able to get to some different tracks and learn a few things. So it's been Dad started racing, I think, when I was 7 years old. And like I said, I'm 33 now, so this has really been a lifelong, true family sport. We've always done it as a family. We've always worked on the stuff together and always went to the track together, and it's been a real big part of our lives. So hopefully you'll be able to learn a little bit more throughout this page, and we'll go into that a little bit more after Brandon introduces who he is.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Brandon Gregory. I drive the number 66 Schwartz. Ran sportsman for 6 years. Took last year off to build a new car. I got a brand new Schwartz sitting at home, and that's where it still sits on roll bars. Some people of mine around me know that I've been dealing with some medical issues for the last year, and it's just been hindering me at work and everything like that. So financially speaking, I haven't been able to do much work, so I've just been helping BJ out here last year, crew chiefing and tweaking on his car and getting it ready to go week to week. Decided to start this Chasin Checkers racing page to encapsulate Gregory Racing as a whole and try to bring you some of the day-to-day routines of working on the race cars and tearing them down completely, getting them ready for the next year, and then obviously the race-to-race stuff throughout the summer. So that's what we're going to be doing here.
So a lot of people here, Chasin Checkers and see us doing a YouTube thing and a Facebook page, and automatically go, if you're in the racing world at all, you go, oh, it's another Hunt the Front, Yeah, it absolutely is in a way. We watch Hunt the Front guys. We were fans of them guys before they blew up and got big and are able to do what they love to do for a living now. And the reason we watch it is because we are them people. That's what we do. And to be able to kind of see what they do and how it's different than maybe some of the stuff that we do, we always thought was cool. And it's always fun to kind of watch that grassroots stuff. So, we've had a lot of people around us, I know I have for sure, say, hey, why don't you start a page or something, start making videos about this? And, because we're curious on what does it take to get a car ready? What does it take to do this and do that? And so, yeah, it is another spin-off of a Hunt the Front type page, and that's fine, because I believe that in grassroots racing, maybe we need more of this. There's a lot of people coming up, a lot of younger folks and generations younger than us that, maybe they weren't as blessed to have some of the opportunities that we did with our dad, being able to kind of, be little kids in the garage. I mean, like I said, I was 7 years old. I stood in the garage for probably hundreds of hours doing nothing other than just watching Dad put his first race car together. And I know there's some folks that have also done that, a lot of folks probably in the racing world. And so for the folks that go to the races every week and sit in the grandstands and they enjoy racing, they really enjoy the competitive nature of it and the camaraderie of it. And we wanted to be able to give another outlet, this is what racing's like in the north. Hunt the front, them guys are out of the south. They run some crate stuff. We don't run any crate stuff. So we wanted to kind of just give our spin on it, and also be able to take some of our friends and family and maybe some fans out there, if there are any out there, and really show them what goes into this, not only week to week, but like Brandon said, in the off year, because this is a 365 day a year job. It's a second job. It truly is. But we don't think of it as a job because it's fun to us. And but to truly be able to understand that and see what that's all about, and see really truly what it takes to field one of these caliber cars and get it to the racetrack every week, it's a monumental effort. And like Brandon said, without him this year, there's no way I would have been able to do it. Work was super busy this summer, and it kept me from being able to put as much effort as I wanted to into racing. So it truly is a team effort. I mean, the guy that hopefully stands in the front stretch and bangs on the roof and gets that big check, he gets the credit. But I think what this will do, and hopefully what this will do, is show the true dedication of the people around you that help you out weekly and throughout the off season, because it's taken us a very long time to get to where we're at in this sport and have the knowledge that we've acquired. And there's a ton of people to thank for that. We didn't just show up one day with a bunch of money and have a race car built and decide to go try our luck. This has been years of culmination of busting ass and putting in the work and learning how to do this stuff on our own to save us a little bit of money, because we're not rich. We got day jobs. We work day jobs. So it takes a lot, and hopefully that'll kind of be what this page represents, is just that true understanding of what this takes and what it's all about.
All right, so we're just going to give you a quick rundown of what we're racing with here. This is 2017 Schwartz by Audi. As you can see, it's currently in its preparing for being tore down for the winter. Got the doors, the hood, the fenders off of it to give it its last bath for the season. And throughout this winter, you're going to see us take this aluminum off the deck here, completely redo it. We're going to build a whole new body for this race car. We're going to tear the rear end out of it and go through that. Go through all your heims on your 4-link radius rods right here. And we're going to go through all your heims and all the critical front suspension parts. We'll tear these shocks off. We're going to send them back down to burner at AccuForce and get them freshened for the season. And we'll see what shakes out with the motor. Motor in this thing's nothing fancy. It's just a steel block, 18-degree Brodex spread port heads motor. Healthy little motor, but it's not a big powerhouse. That's the race car.
All right, we'll do kind of a brief overview of our shop. This is Dad's shop. We helped him finish this thing, and this is his baby. And we're just privileged to be able to work out of it throughout the winter. There's not a lot of folks that have the luxury of a well-built, heated, air-conditioned, well-insulated shop. So we are definitely fortunate in that aspect, because I know a lot of people do this with a lot less, and props to those folks. But we didn't always come from this, right? So, I mean, my first year starting out, Brandon's first year starting out, we were in a one-car garage. It was the side shop to Dad's main shop, and it was tight conditions and very poorly heated in the winter. And so I know that's still an upgrade for some folks, but It's not always been this way. It's been through years of hard work. So I'll give you a little rundown. Basically, we're standing in the main front part of the shop right now. This is primarily where we race out of. Week to week, we race out of here, and then in the winter time, this is where most of the work happens. If you look over here, this is kind of our body fab area. We got the aluminum table here. Obviously, we keep some aluminum in there. It's low right now. It's got to get stocked back up. But this is where we build the bodies on and lay out all the sheet metal and everything like that. Behind you there, you got your 8-foot sheet metal brake. That thing is pivotal in what we do. It's the only way we can build these bodies and have a level of quality and consistency that we like to have. Obviously, Brandon just showed you the car, so you can see it's not a real massive shop, right? And then the back part of the shop here, this is actually the home of Turnworks Machining and Fabrication, right? This Dad's new business, he's just getting kind of off the ground and running. We got a full CNC lathe here, and then any fabrication capability, welders and TIG welders and things like that as well. But there'll be much more about this in a future video on the Turnworks Facebook page once that gets up and running, and we'll post a link to that as well. But that's basically the shop. It's nothing uber fancy, but we know it's plenty fancy enough for what we do. And this is where you're going to see us a lot throughout the course of the winter. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do at least one video a week throughout the winter, maybe two. It just depends on schedules and things like that. And then probably getting into the summertime, once we start racing again, you might see 2 videos a week from that point. So look forward to talking on these things and being able to show you guys what we do and how we do it. And welcome to any comments as far as maybe what you guys want to see or maybe a little more detail on. If we can give it to you, we'll certainly give it to you. But that's all we got, so thank you.